20 each and every day. That's how many soldiers and veterans commit suicide. And that's why OPFOB was started 5 years ago in Ridgeland to help those veterans and now first responders deal with life off the battlefield. It's an issue that doesn't just affect the rank and file. I got a chance to speak to former Navy Admiral John Stufflebeem about his own issues and how he dealt with the idea of taking his own life.
We see horrors in other parts of the world as we're sent downrange to do what it is we're trained or asked to go do. For many people, it's okay that you can compartmentalize it and kind of wash it out of your system. But for most of us as human beings, it takes a toll. And at least in my case, I didn't realize what toll it had as it built up over time and then added to other things that occurred as well until eventually it popped. When I was being retired by the Navy, it happened in a way and at a time that I didn't anticipate, couldn't believe that it was really happening. And what I then didn't appreciate was all the bad things that I had either lived through or witnessed. It just built up until finally it got to the point where I never understood the demons of other people before. I don't understand, why did he take his life? Why did she commit suicide? Now I understood. I heard this once before. It said, you know, the greatest sound in the whole world is to hear the door softly close with a question mark. I hope that's him. And then you hear the sound of ripping Velcro. And it's like, oh, he's home and he's taking his vest off. For people who wear gear, of which I wore a lot of gear most of my career, especially in combat, and then first responders and like police and others know right away, it is a shield. And you can not only hide it behind it, but there's a level of comfort in having it on there. And when you take it off, you kind of feel naked, you feel sort of unsure of yourself, but mentally it's even bigger baggage, and it's even harder to take off. When you're stripping that Velcro and taking that gear off and hanging it up, you haven't gotten rid of what you're carrying up here. And eventually it starts to get to the point where now you can't deal with it. And so you rely on something else, like drugs or alcohol or isolation. And for me, it was, oh, I know how to get rid of these demons. Unfortunately, it's the permanent solution. And if you're lucky enough to have somebody who recognizes, even when you're not willing to admit it, and can put the mirror in front of you and say, you got to confront yourself, when you can finally admit that I need that help, now you can start to work on recovery. So one of the things that I really appreciate about OPFOB is that they provide that sense of unit identity for people who have lost it. And so now they get to sit down and unburden themselves when they feel they can with people who will understand. And that is so cathartic and actually therapeutic. Just to have somebody to listen who understands can sometimes be all it takes to make you decide to put that gun away.
Now, the Admiral will be one of the speakers at OPFOB's annual Dinner for the Heroes on November 8th, and all proceeds from that event go towards programs and events for the veterans, firefighters, and police officers involved. If you'd like to attend, we have details on our website, wsav.com/OPFOB.